So inside the lacuna, we have a bone cell that known as osteocytes. Okay, it's located here. Okay, known as osteocytes. This osteocyte uh, is come from a words of osteoblast. So osteoblast dengan osteocyte itu benda yang sama. What's the function? The function is to secrete and maintain the bone matrix. Bone matrix tu maksudnya yang ni lah. Okay, bone matrix tu they will combine together and form the lacuna. So what is the bone matrix? Bone matrix is collagen, calcium ion, magnesium, phosphate ions that will combine together to form a matrix, which is later will form the lacuna. So before it's become matured, it's also known as osteoblast. When it's become matured, it's known as osteocyte. So osteocyte in form of less active comparing to the osteoblast. Okay, now one system known as osteon, and each of the osteon actually are connected together by a Volkmann canal. Okay, by a Volkmann canal. This is how we spell the Volkmann canal. Okay, please stress on how to spell the Haversian canals also. So these Haversian canals are connected to the other Haversian canal, I mean osteon, with another osteon by Volkmann's canal. In this chapter, actually, they will ask us about the structure, the functions and distribution. So the functions of the compact bones is to give shape and provide support, protect internal organ, provide surface for attachment, as reservoir for calcium and phosphate, and site for the blood cell productions. So kita ada sini 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 functions of the compact bones. Please memorize all of them. Okay, other than compact bones, we also have spongy bones. Spongy bones is less compact and less strong comparing to the compact bones. Usually, children have the spongy bones. Spongy bones is less compact. Tengok ni, they have a holes inside their bones. Okay. For the connective tissue, I will only teach you about the bones, the cartilage, and also blood. I hope that you can read on your own. If you cannot understand, you may ask me inside our class. Now I want to proceed with the plant cell. Plant cell can be divided into meristem tissue and permanent tissue. Okay, I want to stress on the permanent tissue. Permanent tissue consists of ground tissue, vascular tissues, and dermal tissues. To be simplified, ground tissue, okay, before that, ground tissue can be divided into 3, which is parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. You will learn inside, you will see them inside our lab class. Vascular tissue is combinations of xylem and phloem. I think you're familiar with these both. Dermal tissue to produce the skin of plant, which is epidermis. So this is meristem tissue. Meristem tissue, we are really familiar about the ability of it to actively mitotic divide. Okay, you may read it on your own. You have to know about this. Apical meristem. Apical meristem, example at the tip of root and shoots. Okay. Lateral meristem. They produce new cell for secondary growth. If the plant will become large, it's caused by the lateral meristem. Intercalary meristem produce new cells in the monocot. Distribution occurs between mature tissue. Kalau dia tengok dekat bamboo, you can see it at bamboo. So this is known as intercalary meristem. So now permanent tissue tadi ada 3 jenis, iaitu parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. And ground tissue yang tadilah parenchyma. Saya lebih suka kita kenal dia sebagai parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. The function is to support and stores depending on the structures of these 3 cells. Vascular tissue, conducting tissue, which is phloem and xylem. Dermal tissue forms the skin of the plant. So for the parenchyma, we start with the parenchyma, which is the ground tissue. Okay, for this one, if the question appear, the possibility is they will give you 3 different structure and they want you to name these 3. So by hook or by crook, you have to recognize which structure refer to the parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma respectively. So for the parenchyma, it's a simple cells. Okay, if you can look here, it's a thin and flexible primary cells walls. So dia bentuk dia bukanlah sekata. Okay, bentuk dia tak sekata. And they have large central vacuole. Ini. They are living cell because they have nucleus inside their cell. The cells are loosely arranged with large intercellular spaces. This is intercellular spaces. So kalau nampak macam ni, they have flexible shape, so means that they are parenchyma. Distribution in the cortex of stem, mesophyll of leaf, because they inside the parenchyma contains the chloroplast. In the pith of dicotyledon stem, vascular bundles. Function, as they are large structure, so they are really suitable for the food storage. They will store starch. Photosynthesis, as they have the chloroplast. So the location must be inside the mesophyll cell, inside the leaf. Intercellular spaces allows gases exchange because they have a lots of intercellular spaces. Differentiate into other specialized tissue. You may memorize these 4 tissues. Okay, that was parenchyma. Now, collenchyma. Collenchyma, you may know the structure based on the shape. They are thicker at the corner of the cell. Okay, elongated shape, unevenly thickened primary cell wall. Okay, macam ini. Okay, if you can see, they are unevenly thickened. Okay, kat ujung ni dia sedikit menebal. Okay, so if you can see the structure, so you may state it was a collenchyma tissue. Cell are closely packed. Okay, so this is one of the difference between parenchyma and collenchyma. They have little or no intercellular space. Comparing to the parenchyma, they have a lots of intercellular space. So if they ask us the differences, so this is one of the differences. But they are a bit same with parenchyma, where both collenchyma and parenchyma are living cell. Distribution, okay, as they are more rigid comparing to the parenchyma, so the function is to provide support. Location where we can find them is under the epidermis of the stem, under leaf venation, leaf petioles, midrib of the leaf. Okay, midrib of the leaf ni, without the midrib of the leaf will become weak. So how to support? We have to use a rigid structure, which is collenchyma. Rigid but a bit flexible. They cannot be too hard. Okay, rigid but flexible. So collenchyma is a suitable tissue to build up these four. Okay, now the last one is sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma looks a bit same with the collenchyma, but they are not different. Okay, it's evenly thickened. Okay, this is one of the difference between sclerenchyma and collenchyma, because collenchyma is unevenly thickened at the corner of the cell wall, but for the sclerenchyma it's evenly thickened. They are more rigid comparing to the collenchyma. Supportive plant cells that lacks protoplast, and they are very hard, okay, comparing to the collenchyma. It was really different with the parenchyma, where it has no intercellular space. Comparing to the collenchyma, it has little or no intercellular space. But for the parenchyma, they have a lot of intercellular space, as parenchyma function in gaseous exchange. But not for the sclerenchyma. They works more on the supportive system. And it was also different between sclerenchyma and collenchyma. Collenchyma and parenchyma are living cells, but sclerenchyma is a dead cell. They are die at maturity. Example that easy for us to remember is stone cell, sclerite. Sclerite ni, they are located at the seed coat. Macam kita makan buah jambu, biji dia tu keras. Okay, biji dia tu made up from the sclerenchyma. Okay. Alright. For the rest, xylem and phloem, I hope that you can do something on it to make it easy for you to memorize about the xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem also really important. Xylem, I give you some to help you to study about this. Xylem, we have two types of xylem, tracheic and basal element, and there's a difference between these two in terms of structure and a bit about function. So I hope that you can do your own table to differentiate these both tracheic and basal element, but both work in the transportations of water. So do the phloem. Phloem also have two elements, which is sieve tube elements and companion cell. You have to study about the relation between the sieve tube and companion cell, as we will also study about them a bit detail during semester 2. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.